One, somebody wants to know, is it possible, in your opinion, for someone to thrive on a raw food or fruit-based diet in a cold climate? Is that possible?
That's an excellent question. That's really rough because that is an excellent question. A cold is alkaline, hot is acidic, right? So the Homo sapien is a tropical or subtropical species. And when it's cold out, oh yeah, she's right on. Very difficult. So people tend to do warm herbal teas, actually even go to the veggie soups, like carrot soups and stuff like this, and it gets you away from the raw. But man, when it's zero out, forget that because you do crave the protein. You crave the more mineralized food, the more protein, the more acidic food. Wrong food for the Homo sapien, though. And the problem is humans have migrated to these hostile, colder climates for them. And we're actually a tropical or subtropical species. So she's very right. The tropics are acidic zones. That's why you see all the fruit growing, which is alkaline. Salt water, all of this you see there. But when you go up north, that was part of my thesis, believe it or not, for my naturopathic school, was that the geographical location of chemistry and relationship to that, and relationship to chemistry.
Wow, wow, yeah. Yeah. And I would just like to add that I think it's definitely possible to eat a raw food diet in the
Oh,
cold. I did it for 9 years in New York.
there you
But
go.
will you thrive?
Well, I
No.
don't, you always thrive on raw because no animal cooks their food before they eat it. That's ridiculous. And there's a big reason because everybody wants to take supplements now because they destroy their food or they're eating acid forming foods. They see all these symptoms and oh yeah, we can take this many vitamins and it'll affect this symptom. No, 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 no. You go back on a raw food diet, particularly high in fruit. I'll put it this way: try, and I got this on TikTok, a 21-day naked and afraid diet, which is naked vegetables and fruits. Try a 21-day raw food diet with fruits in the morning, a salad at lunch, and fruit at night. And try that for 21 days and see how you feel. Dr. Oz was famous. How he got famous was putting 12 people to the zoo and giving them monkey food. And all their high blood pressures, cholesterol levels, everything started coming down on them. And yet you see him not talking about it at all anymore.
No, I never heard of that.
No, yeah, but he started out taking 12 people to the zoo, putting them on all raw food, and then he got into selling supplements in on show, and then he got off base. Sometimes we lose ourselves again.
Wow, wow, wow. I gotta research that. I gotta look
It's
at
like
that.
it's like Robert Kennedy is the head of right, and so you can't hardly talk. He's got paralysis of the voice box. I can fix that. I can
Mm,
get him talking normal again, but he
mm,
can't get on his high protein diets. He's got to get rid of all that. But
yeah.
you can fix all this stuff neurological.
Wow. Thank you so much. Okay, last question is there is so much conflicting information in this world.
Mhm.
How do you how do you decide what is truth and what is not? What's your best advice on this discernment that we need?
I've had 50 years of seeing people clinically. So I've had the gamut of supplements. I've used supplements in my earlier years. I've recommended kelps, green drinks, wheatgrass juices. I've used the all types of supplements in the cancer areas. Uh, uh, I've tried everything. Until I realized the simplicity of the whole thing, did I not know the truth and learn about that. And once you understand basics, chemistry, acid and base. You understand there's two fluid-based systems in the body. You understand these things, then you're not swayed by this. Plus, you need to try it. This high protein diet is so stupid and ridiculous. Now they got protein babies eating on a piece of meat, human babies eating on a piece of meat. I've never seen anything so stupid in my life. It's irresponsible. It is a very not health building at all. Yeah, if you're going to eat meat, eat it raw. That's for sure. you know. But no, we're not a meat eating species. And we're a frugivore species. So if you have a salad every day, okay, but you need to have a high fruit intake, especially if you have neurological problems. If you got MS or Lou Gehrig's, you need to be 100% fruit.
Is there a reason why you recommend salad in the afternoon instead of at night?
Yeah, because if you look at a herbivore, they have they grind their vegetables, right? They grind the grasses and stuff like that. We raised horses, we had cows and everything, so they grind, right, because of the high cellulose. Then most of the herbivores have about four compartments or four stomachs, as we call them. Some have up to seven areas to break this down. Humans don't. Humans don't grind. Humans don't only have one stomach, and so very difficult to digest vegetables. I've had seen my patients before and went out to lunch, had a salad, came back, and about fell asleep talking to them because it took so much energy. When you take more energy to break down your food than it gives you back, that's not the answer. And fruit has the highest electromagnetic energy of all foods on the planet, bar none. And so when Yale came out with a study about the brain converting glucose to fructose, because man doesn't consume much fructose, that just checkmate why I can get you out of wheelchairs, why I rebuild neurological conditions all the time, is that we use fructose. And fructose is neural sugars. You got to have carbon. Carbon is your fuel. That's your blood. That's your blood fuel. That's essential. So we hear all this sugar crap. They're talking about processed sugar or a high sucrose diet. That's polysaccharides. No, 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 no. We're designed for simple sugars, but simple sugars is essential. You have simple sugars in your body dealing in metabolism and stuff that is essential, ribose and things like this. These sugars are essential to the cell. But then you have the need for some amino acids. Why does mother's milk have high carbon and low amino acids or low protein? And that's because amino acids are the lowest form of constituents we need in a food. What about lipids? Your lymphatic system is a lipid-based system. That's your lymphatic system. You need lipids. So that's why you see the ratios in mother's milk the way they are. And you about see that in all species. It depends on the species. Sometimes you see a little higher protein in your bigger animals. But outside of that, no. Your carbon is always number one. That's your gasoline to turn on your car.
I understand. So the vegetables take longer to digest,
Oh,
so you
yeah.
recommend them in the midday.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, that
Yeah.
makes sense.
And then, of course, fruit in the morning, you're breaking a fast from the night before. You haven't eaten all night long. You don't break fast with vegetables. You break them always on fruit. So that gets your kidneys filtering better and everything else. So your always breakfast should be all fruit. That turns you on neurologically. It gives you energy to lunch. Then if you want to have a salad, whatever, okay. If you eat a piece of dead animal, then have it with the salad. Like a piece of fish or chicken if you gotta. But if you can leave that off, good. And then at night, you're going to go to bed. You want to go to bed with clear thinking. You want to have some out of body experiences, don't you? Stuff like this. You want to have your spiritual side turned on. So you want to have a fruit supper. You go to bed. You have good lucid dreams if you in that level. And so much better.
Do you drink juice?